Ladies, gentlemen, and friends, welcome to Spooky Storytime. I'm going to turn down the music just a little bit because it's probably a little bit too loud. Have you ever wondered what your favorite game was like before it was finished? What the developers changed, added, or even removed? What could have been? This would be me. I've had a long life interest in prototypes, glitches, and similar unseen medias. I still have this interest, but I've become cautious about delving into this little lost world after a recent event. It all started with what seems to be a completely chance occurrence. I had been visiting some thrift stores throughout the day, looking for video games and robots to add to my collection of robots. My robot collection, if you will. As it was getting late, I decided to check one last store before I went home. It was a little thrift store in the middle of town. I remember having a lot of lucky finds there, and this day was no different. I walked in and headed for the DVDs and games section, as I always did, but I was surprised to see over 15 copies of Tekken 4 for the PlayStation 2 sitting neatly on the shelves, all in various conditions. This was a somewhat common occurrence. 15 copies of any game is normal for a thrift stop. However, although unusually with VHS tapes rather than games, I giggled at the thought of how so many copies of the game ended up here. Not long after, I was handing a copy over to the cashier. As soon as I went, sorry. Oh, that's not it. There we go. Professionalism. As soon as I got home, I went to my room and wiped the dust off my fat PS2. My thick, big-tittied, fat PlayStation 2. Sorry, I was doing something else. As soon as I got home, I went to my room and wiped the dust off my fat PlayStation 2, which I hadn't used in a couple of weeks. I took the game out of the plastic bag and examined it thoroughly. Yep, this was Tekken 4 alright, and nothing suspicious else about it. The case was exactly the same as the others, although it had seen better days. The disc, on the other hand, was much different. It said Tekken 3 on it. Interesting. Now, it looked sort of like a bootleg CDR, but it didn't have a label indicating it was one. There was text, however. It read the following. Tekken 4 version 1.3 test debug disabled 2006-23. You can imagine my excitement at the sight of this. Perhaps I was drawing conclusions too early, but my mind instantly went to the possibility of this disc being a beta. That's how game development works. We make a disc of every version of the game. Even the one that nobody's going to play. I looked on the back to ensure there were no debilitating scratches or other damages, and then placed it in my PlayStation 2. I was giddy as I watched the typical boot fade into the start of the game. Instead of the CGI intro I was familiar with, the game immediately went to a dark blue screen. A voice clip of the announcer saying, "Good morning," played, and the plain white text appeared, similar to what was on the label of the disc. There were a few differences, though, those being the inclusion of the Japanese text, the Namco logo in the bottom right corner, and two options: start and debug. Bum bum bum! It was obvious at this point that I indeed had something special. My hands were sweating in anticipation. I licked it clean. What secrets could this hold? Based on the date and version number, this had to be a very early version of the game. Perhaps the arcade version being developed on a PlayStation 2. That's also not how that works. The first thing I tried was selecting debug, which soft-locked the game. I suppose that the debug truly was disabled as it said on the front of the cover. After a restart, I selected the first option. It sent me to a more simple menu. It was a black screen with white text that, again, had two options. This time, though, they were different. They said story and free play. I decided to try 4Play first in order to see the differences in gameplay. When selected, it sent me to a simple character select screen with low-res images. All the options except for 4 were blanked out with question mark assets from Tekken Tag Tournament 1, most likely because the rest of the roster hadn't been implemented quite yet. This guy's a fucking nerd. The 4 selectable characters were Nina Williams, Dean Earwicker? Is that his name? Dean Tekken. There's no one from Tekken named Dean Earwicker. Fiona Gilberto and Craig Marduk. Dean and Fiona, for the uninitiated, were early names for the characters Steve Fox and Christy Monteria. Oh, okay. Okay, no, I didn't read ahead. For simplicity's sake, I'll refer to these characters as their final names from now on. Okay. All the selectable characters were new to this game, except for Nina. This had me curious. What was special about her to make her selectable in such an early beta? My mind wandered as I selected Steve, my favorite character in the series and former obsession. This dude's into it. The gameplay of the beta was abysmal compared to the final. It was clunky, the stages were unfinished, the music was absent, and all in all, it was underwhelming. I went back to the character select screen and tried to pick Craig. The game soft-blocked. I reset and tried again with Christy. Another soft block. I was confused. Why would these characters crash the game? They were selectable for a reason. Maybe it was a quirk with the programming of the early menu, or maybe they weren't finished. Finally, I tried Nina. When I selected Nina, a short loading screen appeared that said, "Loading story." Strange. Obviously, I hadn't selected story mode myself. It started with the regular story mode format in Japanese, although much shorter with uncolored sketches. When I translated the text, read the following. Nina was hired to kill. She will kill. Earwicker must die. The assassin missed the taste of blood and the smell of death. She enters King of Tekken 4 to pursue him. I'd enter King from Tekken 4, if you know what I mean. Something unnerved me about this. Tekken 4 was always considered the darkest and most serious game in the series, but it never once seemed this dark. Maybe I was forgetting something. This didn't matter because I fought anyways. I needed to see the secrets. There were 5 fights in total, 4 of them being against Christy and Craig, the only differences being their costumes and the levels. The final fight, however, was against Steve, just like in the final game. This fight took place in a seemingly complete level and contained a sliver of music that cut out after a couple seconds, descending into a quiet, high-pitched buzz. The longer it went, the more it pierced my ears. I triple-checked my AV cables to make sure they weren't the cause. I thought it was the game itself at this point, but I later learned that there was no sound at all. My chest sank and my blood went cold the longer it played. I became extremely weary of what was about to come. I pressed on anyways. I needed to see the secrets about to unfold. This is what always fucking happens in this shit. You see some creepy shit, and you like, weird. I'll press on anyways, despite this feeling in my gut. When I get scared in a video game, I turn that shit off, unless I'm doing it on twitch.tv/LeoMyFriend. But that's not the point. It was quiet and ear-piercing. It's like a dog whistle. What the fuck? That's Nina's actual job. It's canon. This guy doesn't fucking care. This nerd knows a little bit about Tekken, I guess. Sorry. Drinking. I pressed on anyways. I needed to see the secrets about to unfold. It ate me from the inside. Gamer whistle. It ate me from the inside out. It was all I could think about. I needed to see gameplay from Tekken 4. After the final chunk of Steve's health went down, the game skipped the win animations and instantly went to the epilogue of the story. I was surprised to see an animated cutscene. The camera very slowly zoomed in on Nina from behind. She was sitting in a room similar to the one in the final version, though darker and emptier. In her hand was a large black rifle that she stared at intensely. She didn't budge for what seemed like ages. For a little bit, I considered restarting the console, but the zoom of the camera indicated that this wasn't a crash. This was intentional. After about 5 minutes, the camera changed angles to show the woman's face and upper body. This dude's just staring at this lady from behind holding a rifle for 5 minutes. She opened her eyes very slightly and held the gun up, cocking it. This scene as well lasted a very long time. She's very slowly cocking the gun. She cocks it, and then cocks it again, and then it starts to look like a sex joke. The longer it lingered, the larger my fear grew. This was all extremely unnerving, especially when remembering the final version. Dark as it was never this worrying. Cock. Master Chief comes. Nina's eyes pierced mine more and more the longer I peered. The ringing sound returned, and so did the feeling inside my body. Her eyes were nothing more than white ovals, devoid of any life. No feeling, no sign of life, no soul. They were empty. There was nothing inside them. They were gone. Gonzo. No, the lights were on, but nobody was home. This motherfucker just can't fucking stop describing what her eyes looked like. Hey, Andy, sweetie. What are you drawing? I'm drawing a map. A map? But that's just a blank sheet of white paper. Sorry. It's not even funny. I hate that fucking video. They were empty. After this eternity, the cutscene continued, but my fear didn't fade. She moved to the hotel window and pointed the rifle out, focusing on Steve's head. Have you not seen the video of the guy who's like, it's a map of your eyes, because I keep getting lost in them. And then she screams. She moved to the hotel window and pointed the rifle out, focusing on Steve's head. The ringing became deafening. Just mute your TV, dog! In what seemed like a split second, Steve went from standing, living, breathing, to becoming a squirming mass of flesh. Actually, it's polygons in a video game. He lay on the sidewalk, his head cracked open, leaking fluids and... Fluids? It's blood. It's just one fluid. Fluids and brain matter. Bits of skull floated along in the pool of blood that slowly formed. How shallow is this pool? His beautiful light blue eye. Sorry, he says his beautiful light blue eyes. This dude is into Steve. Like, good for you. His beautiful light blue eyes quickly lost all life and rolled back into his rapidly fluttering lids. The gore itself wasn't shocking. It was PS2 era graphics and sights that were common in M-rated games. But I don't know what it was that hurt me. The camera lingered on this sight. The sound was now unbearable, and my entire body felt cold and dead. I wanted to look away, but my body wouldn't budge no matter how much I struggled. I needed to see. I needed to see it all. The focus was soon put back on Nina, who sat with the same blank expression adorning her face. She closed her eyes fully and turned the rifle away from the window. After another century of waiting, she turned it to herself. She wrapped her pink lips around the barrel, tears rolling from her eyes. She was a monster. Trigger warning for suicide, I guess. No soul of any kind until this very second. What is this? What is this? No. No. So I'm just gonna mute it. This music sucks. Her finger twitched in anticipation on the trigger. Then she pulled it. The screen flashed extremely rapidly from red to green to blue, all the colors of the rainbow, in a seizure-inducing manner, and then froze on a corrupted image of the woman in her isolation chamber, sprinkled with the same colors. The buzz was now real. Buzz? That's not the song I wanted. Sure. After this, I finally came out of my trance as a terrible crunching sound emitted from my PlayStation 2. I rushed over to unplug it and manually pulled the disc tray out. I was horrified to find that the PlayStation 2 suffered a catastrophic hardware failure and completely destroyed the disc, ripping chunks out from the plastic and melting through with the laser. I gazed at the disc for quite a while, thinking deeply of what I just witnessed, and placed the disc in a plastic bag and threw it in my desk drawer. My life continued as normal with no adverse effects. Oh, thank God. I was worried about that. I still retain my interest in hidden content and my enjoyment of the Tekken series, but this event made me realize an important rule of life. Some secrets were never meant to be seen. It's kind of lame. Sorry, dude. I don't know when this one was written, but like, seeing this kind of stuff in PlayStation 2 graphics is probably not going to be too traumatizing. So he just played a bunch of Tekken 7 games and then watched Nina. What happened? What was the final cutscene from Tekken 4? Tekken 4 Nina ending. Hang on. Okay, hang on 1 second. There we go. That's tamer than some actually hidden content in games. Exactly. This is Nina's ending. Don't do it, girl. Oh, you bailed! She just slowly slides out the window. Yes, into daylight, girl. Go, go, go! Freeze! Kiss. Again, do it again.
Thanks.
Arigato. Why didn't you stop the guy with the gun? He still has a gun. What the fuck? Oh my god. That was so fucking corny. That's tamer than some. Yeah. Bad English when a cop comes in. Oh, did you actually? you knew it from the start. The Beavis and Butthead 90s point and click had a hidden game over where Butthead graphically executes Beavis with a shotgun. The gun guy is a cop. Gross. Steve couldn't bring himself to touch a cop. That was so fucking tame. It wasn't even that creepy. Like, you'd watch that and be like, that's fucked up. Well, anyways. So wait, smoking gun, or Chekhov's gun, what's with the other 14 copies of Tekken 4? Why were there so many of them? I'm a hardcore Tekken gay. Well, I'm glad to have you here, Mario. Who's the hottest guy in Tekken? Go. Asakura Chocolate says, not bad except for that last paragraph. PlayStations don't do what you described, no matter how catastrophic the hardware failure is. If it wasn't for that, I'd say 10 out of 10, which is almost impossible for video game pasta. It didn't even give me a shiver. Like, I think even, like, Sonny the Tragic Clown gave me a little bit of, like, a shiver. This one was nothing. Soma, my wife left me and took the kids proxy, says, A, not bad, my G. I'd give it a solid 7.9 out of 10. Shy Persona says, Tekken 4 was my favorite Tekken game of the entire series. I purchased an entire new system to play it at one point. Very amazing story. The concept pictures and story drawings with Japanese text makes it much more awesome. By the way, I'm a Christy main, low-key, wish she was in the story as well. But anyways, all in all, story was amazing. If it would have had taken a Ben drowned move and showed footage, would have made me happier. But the concept picture satisfied me already. 10 out of 10. Jesus Christ, y'all gotta... Dr. Bob Smith says, comment deleted. This was less dark than the average Mortal Kombat ending. This is like... this. I'm trying to think of games I've played recently that had an ending as tame as this. Jesus, dude. Oh god, I kind of want to read another one. I don't know if I should read 2 in one night. I mean, we've been doing this for like a half hour almost. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I might have found a terrible one. Alright. I'm gonna read another one just like as a quickie, because... the title for this one is fucking killing me. The title for this creepypasta is, I Know What You Did to That Drug Dealer. People who know me also know how much I live for murder. Not murdering my own kind, or any kind, but the fact that some human beings have the ability to draw life from another. The first book series I ever read was the Woman's Murder Club series. I adore mysteries and crime thrillers. Motherfucker, the first book series I read was like Hop on Pop or some shit. This dude came out the womb reading Woman's Murder Club. When I graduate from college, I want to work with the FBI. Oh my god, this dude is a fucking cop. The drug dealer got pranked, bro. I know what you did. I know you threw the pie. I know you threw the pie in that drug dealer's face. I know he ate a cheese. To help mentally prepare myself for the job of the FBI, I downloaded a game on my iPhone called Cause of Death. In the game, you get to play as an array of different cops, FBI agents, data analysts, criminals, and even victims that are about to be murdered. You must make choices in parts of the game, and making the wrong one can kill you. So you have to start from a certain checkpoint and try again. I've already sunk about $50 into the game, buying all the cases. I'm a big fan of this mobile game. One case in particular I always wanted to get was the case titled, Your Case, The Missing Child. I saw that the download price was only 99 cents, so I figured to myself, why not? Okay, real talk though, why is buying shit on mobile such like a... It's like harder to do. Like, I've spent $60 on a video game on a whim, like there was nothing, but like, fucking, it's like, hey, this game that you want to buy is only $1 on the iPhone, and I'm like, I don't know, I'll need a couple days to think about it. In the case, you get to enter your name and hometown and actually become a cop in the game. Pog, what I've always wanted to be. As the cop, you have to solve a case where a little boy has gone missing from his deadbeat mom's apartment. In the end, it turns out that the boy was about to be taken away by child services, so the drug-addicted asshole mom left her son with her new boyfriend, a convicted child molester, so that they could move all the way down to Mexico and hide out. If all goes accordingly, the pedophile gets arrested and you get commended. But a lot of shit can go wrong in the game. One thing that could go wrong... Okay, first of all, let's talk about what... Okay, we'll talk about that later. One thing that could go wrong is you can shoot the little boy's father, a suspect that is a drug dealer. Kid's got a lot of positive role models. You're making the story up. You can make it better. I played through the game a few times, and I knew you weren't supposed to shoot the guy, but I decided to anyway, just to have some fun with the game. I'm a pretty sadistic and fucked up guy. I don't return my cart to the cart corral at Target. I also ended up getting shot by the child molester and killed, and I saw a lovely cutscene of people speaking at my funeral. They all said what a good guy I was as a cop. I decided that was enough cause of death for one day, and I closed the app down. I opened up my email on my phone since I was expecting an important message from my best friend. And I saw an email from someone, and there was no email address. I looked at the text line and saw that the subject said, "Vengeance is always so sweet." Thinking it was a joke, or maybe some sort of spam, I decided to open the email and look at it. That's not what you're supposed to do with spam. You fucking idiot. The words shook me to my very bones. Dearest Madison, I know what you did to that drug dealer. Did you not know that when you killed him, you also killed a person somewhere in the United States? Sorry. Normally in these sorts of stories, you get like breadcrumbs like leading you to the trail where you open the door and there's a dead body. This dude put you in a room and dropped a dead body through the fucking ceiling and then threw some bread at you. Bro, your phone got hacked because you downloaded a shitty game where you have to play as a cop. Did you not know that Cause of Death is a game that actually kills an innocent person for every dead criminal? For just $1 a day, you too can kill a random person on the street. I doubt you knew that. Now listen up, I'm going to offer you a choice. Either you click the link below this text and download the file, or you can die. The file will download, and nothing on your machine will change. Once the download is completed, a sniper on a rooftop in your city will murder a person you love. I'll send him a notification. If you don't download the file in the next 36 hours, then you will die. Make the right choice. And oh, Madison, sweet dreams. No one signed the email. The download link was entitled I know what you did.vbs. Vacation Bible School? And when I logged onto my email on my laptop and scanned the link with my antivirus, it told me the link was safe. And now here I sit, one hand on my mousepad, wondering if I would rather die than have someone I love die. It's been 35 hours and 57 minutes since I got the email. I spent the last day writing this story instead of calling the fucking police. Oh my god. I can hear total commotion on the other side of the house. Panicked voices. I can hear a voice call out for me, and I'm not sure if it's my own voice or the voice of my killer. All I wanted was to solve mysteries, and I guess that was my ultimate downfall. Wow! Wow! Oh, that was so fucking terrible! Oh my god! The person who made this story saw the game lose-lose and was like, what if I was simultaneously more dangerous and stupid? That's it. That's the story. Random name 24 says, you still think marijuana bad drug. 0 smoke. Happy guy. 4 smoke. Angry guy. What? Very good. 10 out of 10. I like the idea for this pasta. This is insane. Imagine wanting to play as a cop. So, okay. So the story is... Sorry. You, as a cop, get a little kid coming up to you saying that your mom's a drug dealer. And you want me to believe that as a cop, you're gonna help him? The most believable part of this story is that the cop killed the innocent drug dealer. How is he not... how have you not killed other people in this game before? You said you've sunk $50 into this game and you didn't kill a single person? How many people are downloading this game? What circumstances in-game led to the player killing the dad? He just felt like it. He said, I played through the game a few times, and I know you weren't supposed to shoot the guy, but I decided to anyway, just to have some fun with the game. Just a prank, bro. He just pranked the drug dealer. It's just a fun. I know he ate a cheese. So you're telling me that you've sunk so much money into this game and you never killed a single person, and now the one time you kill someone innocent? Every time you kill a person in this game, Cause of Death is a game that actually kills an innocent person for every dead criminal. He said, did you know gaming? Did you know that Cause of Death? It's ridiculous. Just this one sentence. Did you not know that Cause of Death is a game that actually kills an innocent person for every dead criminal? I feel like the first person to download this game would have done that. This shit would have happened. It would have been delisted. It spells it out so clearly. You're supposed to lead the reader to this example. How did the game kill people? Oh, you know. You know. You know. Right? You know. Absolutely garbage. There's nothing redeemable about this story. There's nothing redeemable. None of this was entertaining, like, in the way you meant it to be. You wrote a horror. You wrote a comedy when you meant to write a horror. The maker sees someone kill someone in a game and then grab him out. Okay, but he hires a sniper. How the fuck? What the fuck kind of pitch is that? Like, I'm gonna go on the dark web and I'm gonna find an assassin. I'm gonna be like, listen, I made this kick-ass game and I'm just gonna keep a tab rolling for you. Whenever somebody spends $1 on this game, I'll pay you $10,000 to kill someone from that person's family. That's a good gig for the assassin. He's got to do a lot of traveling, but like, goddamn. Madison, bro, your shit sucks. This fucking blows. Yeah, the comments later on are like, yeah, the jump from point A to point B was a little off for me. It's very rushed. 0 out of 10, dude. It was funny as hell. I'll give you a 1 out of 10 for it being funny as shit. Wow. Okay, that's a much better point to end the stream off on. Oh my god.